Okay, I gotta fill up this vape monster with some more juice. It's empty again. I fill it up with my 10 ml dripper bottle with a needle tip that I bought from FastTech. You can get 10 of these for $3.15. I'll probably never ever have to buy another dripper bottle again. Okay, really nice and handy when you're using something like this. Okay. So let me get to the review, the show and tell, the vape porn for us vapor whores out there. I'll admit that I'm one of them. There's a lot of Trident dripping atomizers out there, okay? And this one here, unfortunately, actually has the Grand Vapor logo printed on the barrel. There are many of them out there that don't, but what is that going to tell you? The reason why this thing's copied so much is because a lot of people probably like it, okay? And it's for decent reason. I'm going to tell you, I have a little bit mixed feelings for it. However, it is better than a lot of the things that I have bought from FastTech, okay? Not saying everything's junk from there, but I'm saying that you can find junk there, okay? Just look at my last two videos. This one here has a copper center pin, and it is adjustable. You can turn that thing out as far as you need to for anything that you're going to put it on, okay? I can't screw it on the device, that's how far out it is, okay? The negative threads will not positively grab the 510 connector on the PV, alright? So, here it is. It's got all the adjustable holes that everybody knows about on the Trident. I'm going to show you in a minute anyway, but I'll try to keep it brief. Okay, it comes with this nice drip tip here. Now there are 3 of these that I know of at FastTech. There is a gold one, which I can't speak about because it's not right here on the PV. There is the stainless steel one with the copper contacts. That is $16.35 is what this one cost me. There was another one that was a few dollars cheaper that did not have a copper connector at the bottom, at least in the picture. I have to go by the picture because this picture showed the copper contact and it came with a copper contact. There was more money. It had the printing on there. I don't think the other one had the printing on it either. Okay, so I know this is all kind of confusing to you guys, but I just want to make sure that if you are thinking about getting this one, that this is the one you get, okay? It says Grand Vapor on there. It has the copper contact. It is stainless steel. It comes with a really cool drip tip. Really, as far as excuse me, China RBAs or RDAs go, Genesis atomizers, whatever, this is the coolest drip tip that I've ever gotten with any kind of any one of those, okay? It is actually nicely machined. It's definitely different than anything else that I've ever had on an atomizer, and it matches really well, and that's the reason why I keep it on there, okay? Otherwise, the drip tip situation is not all roses with this, okay? With this one in particular, it's a little bit too loose for my liking. It does wiggle around on there. Also, overusing this throughout the day, it will build up juice right here on the top of the barrel, and it will also build up right here around this area of the drip tip where it sits on the top, okay? So it goes around the O-ring and comes down here at this flat area, okay, which isn't very cool, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Just want to let you guys know that it's not the best fit. And then, to make matters a little bit worse, I'm going to try one that I haven't tried before. And yeah, this is basically your standard 510 thread, and I have used the ever so popular plastic drip tips, and it fits the same way. It goes on there, but it's a little bit hard, okay? Now that the O-ring's a little wet, it's working a little easier. But let me show you this plastic one. It's a little harder yet, okay? But it's not the worst thing in the world now. But it would be better if the one that comes with it would fit a little bit tighter, okay? It's just too easy. It makes you think you can turn it upside down, wiggle it around, and it'll fall out, okay? So it's just that easy. We're going to get away from the drip tip because I know this is starting to take a little bit too long. So let me do the vapor pouring. This way the juice doesn't spill out all over the place when I open it up and show you the internals. Okay, this thing it's got a dual coil setup, 1.7 ohms. I'm running it on the groove at 5.1 volts. Okay, and it robs a lot of power. It takes a lot of power. Okay, basically I like it on the Buzz Pro because the Buzz Pro is a little bit more powerful than the Provari V2. The mid size is the only holes that you can actually run duals, okay, and have air coming in through right at both coils. Okay, the super large one and the small one, there is no dual holes. You might be able to drill your own and make that work out. However, when drilling through this super tough stainless steel stuff, you're going to go through a lot of drill bits. But with these dual coils, like I said, it's draining a lot of power. It takes a lot of power. It takes a little while. You got to warm this thing up, you know. So turn it up to 5.5 and let's see what happens. I may not have enough battery voltage, and I've got that pin all the way up in there, and it actually recesses up there. So for some things, with it being that way tuned to where you can vape it the best and have the most power hitting them coils, it may be a little tough for you to find something that it'll work with. However, there are a lot of mods that are going with the center pins that have a slight slant so that the very center of the positive pin on the PV is actually a little bit smaller, therefore making it easier to make contacts with things like this. However, the flush mount stuff, it may be the opposite effect. It may not help. Now I'm not getting any power. Okay, so let's do something. The groove has a nice big flat pin in there, so I'm not getting the best vape that I can. However, the Buzz Pro has a little screw in there, and that is used to make your connection. So it's a little rounded, it's beveled, and it makes a good positive connection every time. Okay, let's do that. I've got brand new batteries in here, and I'm just going to bump it all the way up to the red. Okay. It's still very, very open. But as you can see, it's a damn vape beast. Okay, the O-rings are a nice, good, positive fit. However, that's a catch-22 when you want to turn this. When you want to turn this, I've actually had to pull out some pliers and grab a hold of it. It's got all these little indents right here so that you could grab a hold of it with some pliers. Sometimes I've been lucky enough to just get it to nudge over, and that was enough. But most of the time, it's a set it and forget it kind of thing. Find your spot and count on that. But as you can see, for $16.35 and the way it performs, it's more than worth the money. You know, it's worth probably $50-75 in my opinion, because it's great. It works good. Okay, I've got cotton wick in here, so I'm going to show you guys this. The connections on the other two fail videos were little Allen wrenches, okay, and they are so dinky, it's not even funny. They were doomed to fail from the start. So I'm glad they didn't use those on this one. What you need with this one is a micro screwdriver, or standard, okay, and then you just tighten these up. What the cool part also on that is when you screw this enough, it's the actual screw has like a slot all the way through it, so you could actually stick something in the center of the screw. So what that means is you got a nice passage through there. So you just unscrew these, you don't take them all the way out, slide your wires in through there, and you're good to go. Okay, there is no cheap feeling to this at all. What would be better is if it had something up here that you can just grab with your finger and no tools needed. That would be great. But this is how I got my setup. You see, I've got 1.7 ohms, just to remind you, which is, I believe this is AWG 30. The AWG 28 requires too many coils of wire to lower the to raise the resistance, basically, so that you can use it on things that are variable voltage. You don't want to go under probably 1.4, 1.5 ohms of resistance with these, and being as that you're using it on something variable wattage, the sky's the limit as long as you've got the amperage power to push it. Okay, that brings something to mind many times as I'm using this. Okay, it brings in DNA 20. Okay, and there are times whenever I'm thinking maybe I just might be able to part with this. You know, my vape of all vapes, the thing that I had wanted for so long and was on a list for 6 months, isn't worth it. I don't know. That's the thing. I've been pondering that for probably the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I just can't bring myself to do it yet. Okay, but start thinking about DNA 20 if you're going to think about dual coils, because that's where I'm at, and that's where I've been at for weeks. Okay, so that is my setup on the Trident. I think I've showed everybody everything that. And to put this thing back on, you're going to want to unscrew it from the device, because you don't want to mess up your 510 connection on your PV. Alright? And it engages really tightly, and it feels really solid. You know, the only thing that doesn't feel really solid is when you're putting the drip tip on and off. I mean, it's so easy to do that, you know. So, take that as you will. I don't think it's going to fall off, you know. Let me just do the test. Look, from turning it on, it just wants to come off of there. Though it will with a lot of pressure, a lot of G's from shaking it, you know, it will come off. You see, it wants to come off. So that's the deal. I mean, that's the deal, $16.35. Alright guys, thanks for watching.